Do the twist. Today we're playing Tireless Tribe plus Inside Out and Pauper. It's a twisted combo. Let's go check it out. Let's begin today's video by thanking Aaron McRory for today's donation deck. Aaron, thank you. And they checked out my Pauper Life combo deck and they really enjoyed that and said, hey, if you're interested in playing Inside Out, let's just play the Inside Out combo deck instead. So that's why we're playing this Boros combo deck here today. Aaron pointed out to me that it's been a few years since I've actually played Inside Out on the channel. I'm going to be very honest with all of you. I thought that video did not do particularly well. It took a long time to hit an acceptable view count from my perspective. So I'm taking a chance on this today, and I'd really appreciate it that if you enjoyed the video, share it with your friends. Make sure that if you want to see more combo decks like this that aren't traditional Storm decks, they need to hit the view count. So hopefully it does well today and I can keep on recording videos like this. But how the deck functions is that these days we're a Boros deck. Back when I recorded it last time, we were an Azorius deck with things like Dispel and cantrips. We're not really doing that today. What we are still doing is Tireless Tribe, which is the core of the deck. We're looking to combine it with Inside Out. So Inside Out switches the power and toughness, and then you draw a card. Tireless Tribe can make a really big toughness and or booty. So after you pump it up all the way up to a 120 something, you then swap it and attack for lethal. You can even make it unblockable using Escape Tunnel, which is a land, so you have some additional synergies there. Okay, but what about a plan B? That's why we've switched to red over blue, because now you have Pursue the Past and Thrilling Discovery, which allow you to discard cards from your hand to draw cards. Well, we're looking to discard Sneaky Snacker or even Prismatic Strands to, get some synergy there. But we also have a few really cool cards from Dissension. Aurora Eidolon and Sandstorm Eidolon that return to your hand whenever you cast a multicolor spell. So Pursue the Past, Thrilling Discovery, or even Spirit Mascot return these cards so that way you can create card advantage, which is an interesting, aspect of the deck. They also return off of Inside Out, fun fact. So that's what we're doing here today. This deck is an explosive combo deck because you can win as early as turn 2 with Tireless Tribe plus Inside Out, but it can also grind you to a pulp using Sneaky Snacker plus these multicolor spells. So it makes it a really good option in Pauper right now. That's the deck tech. That's what I've got for you. Thank you to Aaron once again for the donation deck. I truly appreciate the support. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Share it with your friends. But for now, we're going to hop on into match number 1, and I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the play with the Inside Out combo. Sure, we'll keep. We'll play a turn 1 land, pass the turn. They have a mountain. We'll dare an Epicure. We'll play a Bitter Union. Discard a land. Pass. We need to find some creatures. Burning Tree Emissary. So this is Rally Red. Uh-oh, another Burning Tree Emissary. This is not good. That's very bad for me. What a start. Play land and pass. I mean, if I can draw Tireless Tribe, we actually have a win. That's a kicked Goblin Bushwhacker. Your average red draw. Alright, deck, I'm asking you for a Tireless Tribe here. Prismatic Strands. We'll say red. Give me Tireless Tribe. Thrilling Discovery. We'll play Thrilling Discovery. Yes. Get rid of Windscarred Crag and Lorne's Escape. Double Snacker was not particularly good in this spot. We'll play our land. Pass. I will kill a Burning Tree Emissary, and then we'll take some damage. I'm at 11. Another Voldaren Epicure, I go to 10. We drew a land. Alright, they got me here. We can go to the next one. What a draw. I mean, that was a very impressive start. We'll probably want more Prismatic Strands. I don't think that this is a particularly good Sneaky Snacker matchup, so I think we can board those out. And I don't hate Cast Into the Fire. You could bring in the Standard Bearer. I'm just not sure how good that really is. I guess Sneaky Snacker's probably better than the Eidolons. So let's board out some of the Eidolons. We'll try this. Game 2 on the play. We have Tireless Tribe and Inside Out. Unfortunately, this isn't a basic Plains, or else this could be a turn 2 win. We'll play our land and pass. They have a Voldaren Epicure. I'll play Tireless Tribe. Pass the turn. Great Furnace. Rally. And they don't attack. Love it. We'll play a Spirit Mascot and pass. They Lightning Bolt the Spirit Mascot. It will die. And now he kicked Goblin Bushwhacker. I'll trade a card in my hand for a creature here. Get rid of Bitter Reunion. We'll play Spirit Mascot and pass. And now they have Galvanic Blast on the Mascot, sure. Another Goblin Bushwhacker. We'll block a Bushwhacker, and then discard the Sneaky Snacker, and I'll take 6 down to 12. We'll play Bitter Reunion. Discard the Escape Tunnel, Sneaky Snacker will return. Play our land. Pass the turn. So next turn, in theory, I could go Lauren's Escape plus Inside Out. Okay, well, they had a land. I realized that I could have tried to kill them there, but if their last card in hand was another removal spell, I actually get blown out, so I didn't want to play into that. Vermod's Crypt, sure. Their last card in hand is a Clockwork Percussionist. They're at 20. I think I just take it here. I'll go to 8. So I can deal them almost lethal. Inside Out. I can put them to 1. And then I'm just trying to fade a draw step. Okay, game 3. Submit. Game 3 on the draw, we will keep. No play on turn 1, that's surprising. We'll play a land and gain a life. Running Tree Emissary, and a Rally. Yeah, I mean, attacking for 4 on turn 2 is pretty powerful. We'll play a Plains and Thrilling Discovery. Yes, discard the Eidolon and 1 copy of Inside Out. Pass the turn. They play a Reckless Impulse. Okay, I go to 18. They swing for 4. Ouch. They have 2 cards left in their hand. I think I'll play a Spirit Mascot here. Yes, I'll return this. Pass the turn. They play Experimental Synthesizer. Reveals a Goblin Tomb Raider. Unfortunate. Still 2 cards in hand too. Into Galvanic Blast, that's devastating. I don't know if I'm going to be able to recover here. Kill the Goblin Tomb Raider. And now I'll take 5 down to 9. Play the Escape Tunnel. Prismatic Strands buys me a few points of damage, not a ton. We'll play Prismatic Strands. Red. And I'll just use the Escape Tunnel here. Grab a Plains. They're going to use the Synthesizer and they reveal a land. Clockwork Percussionist, 1 card in their hand. Pursue the Past. I think that's a good draw here. We'll play the Spirit Mascot. And now Pursue the Past. Discard Sneaky Snacker. This triggers the Snacker, which pumps up the Mascot. No way! Their last card in hand was another removal spell. So I think I might just be dead here. I'm at 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm not dead yet. So this would put me to 1. Hopefully I'm not dead. Pass the turn. I feel like they should use the blood token. Because you could have drawn a creature with haste. Unless you just drew a removal spell. Okay. Yeah, they got me. We are now 0-1.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 Dark Rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in 1 envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just 1.
Match number 2 on the play. Sure, we'll try it. We'll play the Windscarred Craig and pass the turn. Another red deck, a chance at redemption. I will play the Spirit Mascot. Pass. They grab the prize, discarding Sneaky Snacker. So this is the Madness burn deck. We just faced the Rally burn deck. They are slightly different. We'll play another Spirit Mascot and a Boros Garrison, picking up the Windscarred Craig, and I'll attack for 2. They have a Kessig Flame Breather, and now they attack for 2. I'll go to 16. We drew the Tireless Tribe. Let's kill the Kessig Flame Breather. Play Tireless Tribe. And now I'll play a Boros Garrison, picking up the Plains, and we'll attack. They're at 14, pass the turn. Another Kessig Flame Breather. Okay. I will go to 14 here. They still have 4 cards in hand. I could be dead. I think I'm supposed to play the Plains so that way I can cast Prismatic Strands and Inside Out. Swing. No blocks. Attempted Inside Out on Tireless Tribe. Lava Dart. I will attempt a Prismatic Strands. I have another Lava Dart. Okay. Oh, I forgot to discard. I'm such an idiot. Oh, what's wrong with me? Ah, jeez. That was so dumb. I just threw. Pass the turn. Yep, they've got it. I'm just going to concede here. That was so dumb. Bring in more Prismatic Strands. We probably want the Standard Bearer versus the Burn version. Take out Samstor and Eidolon. I think maybe the Bitter Reunions. We'll try this. Let's do better here. Sure, we'll keep Windscarred Craig, pass the turn. They just have a mountain. Tireless Tribe. I guess we'll play it. And they just pass the turn. Escape Tunnel is a good draw. Let's play Spirit Mascot. And we'll attack. Kessig Flame Breather. Okay. I have to imagine I have a win here. Discard Prismatic Strands. And then we'll flash it back. We're going to deal 1 to Tireless Tribe. Sure. Prismatic Strands. We'll say red. I don't know how this works with Inside Out, because it already has 1 damage on it. So I think it would die due to state-based effects, so I'm not supposed to do anything. Maybe I wasn't supposed to lead on Prismatic Strands. I don't know how to play this deck. We'll play Pursue the Past. Discard a mountain. I will pass the turn. Another Kessig Flame Breather. They attack for 1. I'll block. Discard an Eidolon. I'll discard another Eidolon. And then we'll play Pursue the Past. Yes. Yes. Discard one of the Eidolons. Play another Tireless Tribe. Swing. So they'll take 5 here, and we'll pass. Highway Robbery. Ouch. They have a Fiery Temper going at me, so I'll go to 17. They still have 4 cards in their hand. We'll dare an Epicure, and now they attack. I'll block. Before damage, discarded an Eidolon. Play the Plains, and I think we're supposed to flashback Pursue the Past. This will trigger the Eidolons. Yes. Yes. Discard Eidolon. So I'm back at 17. We'll just swing for 8. They block, and we'll pass the turn. Fiery Temper. Going to go at me. Cast into the fire. I'll discard an Eidolon and a Spirit Mascot. I'm pretty close to dead here. They have 2 cards in their hand. If it's 2 Lightning Bolts, I'm dead, or Lightning Bolt Fire Blast. And they also have a Lava Dart in the graveyard. I think we just start off by attacking out. Maybe that's dumb, because they're not going to block the Tireless Tribes. Or maybe they would. Alright, I'm going to swing out. Let's Inside Out on the Tireless Tribe, so I can draw out the Lava Dart. Yes. Yes. So if I now discard, so let's let this one resolve. Now they're going to Lava Dart, so this will put me to 8. And I think now I want to Inside Out on the Kessig Flame Breather, because it will trade with my... Or trade isn't the right word. It will die due to damage from the Tireless Tribe. We'll say yes. I wish I could deal them 1 more damage here, but I'm 1 damage short. I'm 2 damage short. And now Inside Out. My creature will die. They're going to Fire Blast me. I think I'm going to lose this. This can put us up to 3. If I had a mountain here, we'd have it, but I don't. I don't know if I could have played that any better or not. I have no experience with this deck, so it's been a little rough so far. Come on, 2 lands in hand. Is that too much to ask? Well, there's 1. They're passing. Swing. Discard an Eidolon. Inside Out. Yes. I mean, if you had Fire Blast, you would have played it already. Cast into the fire. Okay. That's a reasonable card. However, I have a Lightning Bolt and you're dead. Cast into the fire cost you there. We will submit and try to win game 3. I don't think I'm allowed to keep this, unfortunately. Mulligan. Ugh. Guess we keep. Bottom the Eidolon. Or maybe it's just the Spirit Mascot. No turn 1 play. We'll play Escape Tunnel. And I'll just go grab a mountain. Pass the turn. They plot a Highway Robbery. We'll play Boros Garrison, pick up the mountain, and pass. Land number 3. They plot another Highway Robbery. Prismatic Strands. I think we just play a land and pass. They plot Highway Robbery, discards a Lava Dart, and now the other Highway Robbery gets rid of a Sneaky Snacker. Voldaren Epicure, sure. Another Eidolon. I think I'm actually going to cast it here, which is kind of crazy. They have 5 cards in their hand. They discard a Fiery Temper to the Blood token, and they're targeting me. They're not going after the Eidolon, and they just passed the turn. Okay, I guess they're going to play another land. Another Voldaren Epicure. 3 cards remain. I don't know if I love playing the land if you were going to have a Blood token. And if they would have used the Blood token, they could have triggered the Sneaky Snacker. Another Prismatic Strands. I think we just pass here. They discard another Mountain to the Blood token. And they just pass. So the Eidolon is holding them down. Not what I was expecting, but you know, I'll take it. We'll just go to our turn. We'll play Spirit Mascot and pass. Another Plains. We'll play Standard Bearer. Fiery Temper targets me. We'll cast a Prismatic Strands. They're going to Lava Dart my Spirit Mascot. Am I supposed to let this go? If I use the Eidolon, I could actually protect the Mascot. I think I will. I'll protect the Spirit Mascot. And now they're going to Lightning Bolt. Sure. I consider that a win. Red. Pass the turn. They flash back a Lava Dart. I'll attempt the Prismatic Strands here just to make them use the other. They're going to cast into the fire. Sure. Red. And this shouldn't do any damage due to Prismatic Strands. I'm at 15. They have 2 cards in hand. Tireless Tribe. We'll play it. And another Eidolon. Pass the turn. They want to Lightning Bolt my Eidolon. I guess I'll protect it here. We'll say red. We'll play Boros Garrison, pick up the mountain. Get in there. I'm the beatdown. I'll discard a mountain to trade with their creature. Well, to kill their creature, I should say. Pass the turn. Gutter Snipe. Okay. And step I will Lightning Bolt the Gutter Snipe. We'll play a Spirit Mascot. Trigger the Eidolon. Swing. Discard the Eidolon. Pump it up. Pass the turn. They have a Highway Robbery. This returns double Sneaky Snacker. They play a land. Should I try for a win here? I'll prevent the next 3 to my Tireless Tribe. Inside Out. Triggers. Discard Sneaky Snacker. Discard Eidolon. Discard Eidolon. Swing. They're going to Fire Blast. Prismatic Strands. Hey, we got a match. Nice. So despite me not playing completely ideal, we still won. But, you know, wouldn't hurt to tighten up my play a little bit. And we are now 1-1.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
Round 3 on the play. Nope. Okay, it's gonna be one of those games, huh? Mulligan again. Keep, get rid of Bitter Reunion and Lightning Bolt. Play Escape Tunnel and pass. Alright, before I forget, I'm going to use Escape Tunnel. Ponder Resolves. We'll play Tireless Tribe. And now Boros Garrison, picking up the Plains. Pass the turn. Azorius Chancery. If I draw an Inside Out, we could actually win here, but odds aren't great. Facing what is likely Familiars, and that is Familiars. That is not an Inside Out. We'll play Bitter Reunion. Discard Sneaky Snacker. It will now return. Play Plains, and attack for a very sad 1 damage. Pass. They play their island. Sunscape Familiar. And now they snap. This untaps their lands. 5 cards in hand. I'll attempt a Lightning Bolt. Hopefully it resolves. They have main deck Negate. You don't always see that. Play the Boros Garrison. We'll pick up our Plains. And pass. Another Sunscape Familiar. 2 cards in their hand. Thrilling Discovery. Another main deck Negate. Okay. Play the Plains, I think. Maybe that's wrong. Just pass the turn. They have another Azorius Chancery. We'll cast Bitter Reunion, discard the Sneaky Snacker. We'll play Boros Garrison and pick up the Escape Tunnel, and just pass. A third Sunscape Familiar. Their Muldrifters now cost practically nothing. Why would I draw cards that are good? Why? Is that even possible? We'll attack with the Sneaky Snacker. Pass the turn. Lorien revealed for 2 mana. No! Ah, brutal. They play a Plains. God Pharaoh's Faithful. And we're just drawing nothing. Back for 2. They have another Lorien revealed. We just didn't draw anything here. Now they have Muldrifter and Ephemerate. 7 cards in their hand. I guess we'll play a Spirit Mascot. This is pathetic. Pass the turn. And now Ephemerate. Targets the Muldrifter. Mnemonic Wall. I'm good to just concede here. This is Infinite Life. We'll bring in the Red Elemental Blast. I don't know if they're on Prismatic Strands or not, so I'll bring in Flaring Pain. I think I want these Standard Bearers. I likely don't want my own Prismatic Strands. Board down a couple copies of Eidolon. Maybe board out the Bitter Reunions. I wonder if I'm crazy to consider siding out the Spirit Mascots in a Snap matchup. Like, it just doesn't seem like a card that's going to be particularly good. But I might be wrong. I'll leave 1, I guess. We'll do this. On the play for game 2. This hand is bad. It has lands, but it's just not keepable. I think that this is better. We'll keep. Get rid of the Lightning Bolt. We could draw a basic Mountain. I believe that this is a turn 2 win. Alright, Mountain, let's see it. Nope. We'll play Boros Garrison. Get in there. Azorius Chancery. So yeah, I have the it's my opportunity to win here. So discard the Eidolon. Play Inside Out. Trigger. Yes. Discard the Eidolon. Discard Pursue the Past. We're just going to keep on discarding here. And attack for 21. Nice. Boom. Do that again. We should draw Tireless Tribe and Inside Out in our opening hand together more often. You know, complain and you shall receive. Could use another land or 2, but this hand is very good. Basic Island. Ponder. Let's draw basic Plains, please. I do think a gripe that I have with this deck list, and I understand why, but there's too many tap lands in it. You have Escape Tunnels, you have Boros Garrisons, you have the Windscarred Crags. It's just a lot of lands that enter the battlefield tapped. We'll pass the turn. They play an island into Preordain. I'll use the Escape Tunnel and we'll grab a basic Plains. Play the Tireless Tribe. And now the question becomes, what do I do here? Do I play the Mountain? And that gives me an unblockable win next turn. But if I play the Escape Tunnel now, I could actually have a win that's protected from Snap. I think I'm going to play the Mountain, and we'll pass the turn. Because if they, for some reason tap out for a blocker, Escape Tunnel does win. They cycle Lorien Revealed, and they grab a Glacial Floodplain. An untapped land would also give me a protected win. Okay. I would like 2 Inside Out. They use a Dispel and will attack for 1. Sunscape Familiar. We will Lorentz Escape. This might give me an opportunity to win here. Keep that on top. I think we've got it. They're tapped out. Discard the Eidolon. Escape Tunnel. Can't be blocked. And now I'll play an Inside Out. This will trigger the Eidolon. Yes. Inside Out. Discard. 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 And discard. Take that, Familiars. Boom. You love to see it. We are now 2-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. We are back for the 4th match. On the draw, I will keep another red deck. Great Furnace, yes. Okay. I hope you like red because you're certainly getting it this league. We'll play Windscarred Crag and pass the turn. Ren's Resolve. Reveals Mountain and a Rally. We'll make a white, play Boros Garrison. Pick up the Windscarred Crag and play Tireless Tribe. Pass the turn. They play the Rally. And they don't attack. Okay. We draw a Thrilling Discovery. Let's play the Thrilling Discovery here. And I think I'm going to discard Sneaky Snacker and the Eidolon. Snacker now returns. We'll play Windscarred Craig and we're up to 22. Pass. 5 cards in hand, they have 4 lands. Goblin Bushwhacker. Okay. I'll go to blocks. I feel like this would probably be a good turn to use the Prismatic Strands. So I'll discard Prismatic Strands here. Oh, I should have blocked the... I guess it doesn't really matter. I can name white here. And I'll take 2. Yeah, I could have done this a little bit better, though. It's okay. I'm at 20 and they pass. I'll play Spirit Mascot. This triggers the Eidolon. Yes. I'll discard the Eidolon. And then we'll play Pursue the Past. Yes, this will now pump up my Spirit Mascot. Discard the Eidolon. And we'll draw 2. Attack for 2 with the Sneaky Snacker and we'll pass. They play land number 5, Experimental Synthesizer. A Lightning Bolt. That's probably going to kill my Spirit Mascot. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, so it will die. I'll block the Goblin Bushwhacker. Before damage, discard an Eidolon. And I'll take 3 here down to 19. They're going to Galvanic Blast. We'll just discard Escape Tunnel. Galvanic Blast can resolve. We'll play Windscarred Craig back up to 20. Thrilling Discovery. Yes. Yes. And then yes, we'll discard the 2 Eidolons that we just returned. Back for 2. Pass the turn. They reveal another Galvanic Blast. And now they play a Wren's Resolve, which reveals Clockwork Percussionist and a Goblin Bushwhacker. They Galvanic Blast me down to 18. And step out Lightning Bolt and kill the Samurai token. Yeah, I'll play the Windscarred Craig. And then we'll flashback Pursue the Past. Triggers. I'll discard the red Eidolon. And then we'll Lightning Bolt a token here. Pass the turn. They play Clockwork Percussionist and a Chain Lightning. Okay. Goblin Tomb Raider. And now the Goblin Bushwhacker. So I'll take some damage here, but ultimately I think we're still in a fine spot. They're empty-handed. We'll block. Before damage, we'll pump it. And I'm at 12. We'll play the Spirit Mascot. This will return some creatures. Yes. Yes. I think we're actually going to play an Eidolon here. And then Boros Garrison. Pick up a Windscarred Craig. Pass the turn. And they just passed. We'll play our land, go up to 13. We'll play another Eidolon. Play Bitter Reunion. Discard the red Eidolon. Sneaky Snacker returns, and we'll pass. The opponent concedes. Nice. We were just Boros control. Like standard Astro Slide combo. Thing of beauty. We'll bring in Cast into the Fire. Prismatic Strands. I don't think we want Standard Bearer. I don't think we want the red Eidolon. It's just not what the matchup is about. Probably get rid of the Bitter Reunion too. We will try this. On the draw, we will keep. This hand is the opposite of last game where we had a really grindy hand. This is a combo hand. We'll see how it goes. They have turn 1 Goblin Tomb Raider. We'll play Tireless Tribe. Really wish this was a basic mountain instead. They play a Great Furnace into Rally. We'll block. Before damage, we'll pump. And I'll take 3. Come on, basic mountain. Nope. We'll play Boros Garrison. Pass the turn. Another Rally. I'll take it because they're just dead. No blocks. Inside out. We'll return the Eidolon. Discard. 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 And then I'll show them that I even had Escape Tunnel. Kill you. Boom! That was sweet. A turn 3 win. We are now 3-1. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. The final round of this Pauper League on the play. Think we'll try this? Planes into Tireless Tribe. Pass the turn. Berries, okay. We'll play Windscarred Craig. Get in there. So you don't want to block? Coward. And they do not attack. We'll play a Spirit Mascot. And they do have a Spellsetter Sprite. We'll play Escape Tunnel and pass. Land number 3. They attack. No Ninja. Okay. I would like to try a Thrilling Discovery. Another spell stutter sprite. Okay. Pass the turn. They attack, I'll go to 18. We'll try Pursue the Past. Third spell stutter sprite. Yeah, you got me. Sometimes you're just that good. We'll play a Windscarred Crag and pass the turn. A Harrier Strix, sure. They attack for 4, I'll go to 15. 3 cards still in hand. Thrilling Discovery. They play a counterspell. They just really don't want me drawing cards. Pass. Land number 4. They attack for 5. This knocks me down to 10. They have a Sewer Valence Cam. That's annoying. That's going to buy them 2 combat steps. We'll play Bitter Reunion. Wow. Yeah, sometimes you just have it. No blocks. I drew a ninja. And I know that they're sitting on a spell stutter sprite. I'm going to attempt the bolt here. I'll just fetch. I need to cast one of the flashback cards from the graveyard. We'll play Pursue the Past. Yep. Pass the turn. I cannot block. I'll go to 1. And they have the Sewer Valence Cam for my Tireless Tribe. The word is dead. Yeah. Thoroughly outdrawn. It happens. I don't even know if I want to say outplayed because, like, they just cast their spells. But yeah, they got me. Ah, bummer. I don't think this is a great Prismatic Strands matchup, so I'm okay getting rid of those. I do like the Blast and Cast into the Fire. Don't love Bitter Reunion. Still need to cut 2 cards here. I think it's 2 of the Eidolons. We'll try this. On the play for game 2. I mean, we'll keep this. It doesn't do anything, but we'll keep it. Player, land, and pass. They have a turn 1 Fairy Seer. Mountain, pass the turn. They swing, no blocks. Moon Circuit Hacker. I will attempt a Lightning Bolt, and they replay the Fairy Seer. You draw Pursue the Past, which was great here. So we'll play it, discard the Sneaky Snacker. It will then return. Boros Garrison will pick up the Windscarred Crag. Pass the turn. They swing, no blocks. Another Dirty Ninja. Okay. This time of the Deep Hours. We'll kill the Ninja of the Deep Hours. And then we'll play Windscarred Crag and attack. Get in there. Fairy Seer is back. Another Lauren's Escape. Not a great draw here. We'll attack. If they block, we'll cast one of the Lauren's Escapes. I think I just let that go. We'll play Lauren's Escape to make it indestructible. We'll put a land on the bottom. Pass the turn. Fairy Miscreant. Okay. They attack for 1, no blocks. We'll go to 21. End step, let's try Cast into the Fire. They spell stutter sprite, I will Red Elemental Blast. They have 4 cards in their hand. We'll take a draw. The Thrilling Discovery. We'll Pursue the Past. Discard Lauren's Escape. Swing. They still have 5 cards in hand, so they're in a decent spot here. Fairy Seer. Of 1 Mind. Yep. And now they swing for 1. We draw another Escape Tunnel. I'll attack. Thrilling Discovery. Another Spell Stutter Sprite. We'll play Red Elemental Blast. Yes, discard Escape Tunnel and Inside Out. Into 3 lands. Oh, wow. That is bad. Pass the turn. They swing. We'll play Pursue the Past. They counterspell. Swing. Another Intruder. I think I just let this happen here. Pass the turn. Go to my turn. Another Pursue the Past. Let's try just flashing back the one in the graveyard first. And they play Counterspell. 2 cards still in hand. I'll play another Pursue the Past. Discard Plains. Sneaky Snacker returns. They have land number 5. 2 cards in hand. I get hit for 3. Ouch. They have Sewer Valence Cam. Unfortunate. Thrilling Discovery's good here after I drew the Sneaky Snacker. Yes. Discard, discard. This returns another Snacker. I think, honestly, we just play the Eidolon here. A 2-2 trumps their board. So, yeah, we'll play it. Pass. They're going to use the Sewer Valence Cam. Sure. This time they only attack for 1. Sure. We will swing out. They're going to double block. I think that this is fine. I'll just trade with 1. Like, I am winning this game. I don't need to be overly aggressive. We will Pursue the Past. Eidolon triggers. Yes. Discard a mountain. And we'll play Tireless Tribe. Pass the turn. They have land number 7. Of 1 Mind, so they'll draw 2. Fairy Seer. 3 cards in their hand. We'll play Pursue the Past. double inside out. Try an inside out on Tireless Tribe. So our Eidolon will return. Does inside out resolve? That does not matter here. Ooh, it does matter because it will kill my... I see. That's nice. Okay, my Nomad will die here. Good play. We'll play a Spirit Mascot. Get in there. They want to block, sure. They have land number 8. They're going to Hydroblast my Spirit Mascot. Sure. I'll take 2. Ouch. I think we're so far off of the combo game plan, I'm going to just go get a land here. We'll gain a life back. I'm just going to beat them down with these Eidolons. Pass the turn. Fairy Miscreant, sure. Swing. They do not block. We'll play another one. And a Spirit Mascot. Pass the turn. Sewer Valence Cam, sure. And now they're going to tap my other creature and draw 2. They swing for 1. No blocks. Flashback, Pursue the Past, trigger. Discard an Eidolon. Trigger the Snackers. Go to combat. Get in there. So they'll take 4, going to 4 life. We'll play another land. Pass the turn. I will Lightning Bolt their Intruder. No need to let them put a Ninja into play here. And now they put Ninja the Deep Hours in. Sure. Go to combat. Swing. Nice. So now we're going off to the final game of this Pauper League. Do I want to change anything? Lawrence Escape does not seem particularly very good to me. I think I might board those out, and we'll bring back in the red Eidolons. I think I'll try this. Our opponent mulligans, we will keep. They have Island into Fairy Seer. 2 cards on the bottom. Red Elemental Blast is a good draw. We'll just play a Tireless Tribe here. Land number 2. And they swing. No blocks. And of course it's a Ninja. Yep. And they replay the Fairy Seer. Come on, cast into the fire. Let's see it. Inside out. I mean, I could kill them here if they don't block. No blocks, really? Discard my Eidolon. Inside out. Trigger. The final game of this league being a turn 2 win. And now we'll just continue to discard. 1 more card. And that's lethal. Turn 2 win to finish it off. Hell yeah. Love that. So thank you to Aaron McRory for the donation deck. Will Magic Online let me go back to the screen where we could actually see the deck? There we go. All right. So yeah, I thought the deck was pretty good. I don't know if I even have any feedback, although I didn't mention this in the deck tech, but I probably should have. Aaron had a fling in the deck list that I cut for the 4th Spirit Mascot. I thought the fling was a little too cute. This is obviously the one change I did make to the deck. I don't know if I would change anything. It felt pretty good. I would probably play the same 75 again. Maybe I would cut like a couple of the tap lands, but that might be wrong. Maybe it's just fine. It just feels like 11 tap lands is quite a few, but maybe that's what you need in the format. So I don't know if I would actually change that or not, because like it is mana fixing as well, so you don't open up on hands that are all mountains, for example. So it might be required. But I thought the deck was pretty great. Thank you to Aaron. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. We had a strong 4-1 finish. Unfortunately, we lost the first match to Mono Red Rally, but we recovered after that. The deck can be very fast, but it's also extremely resilient, which makes it a pretty good choice. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, keep storming. Thank you for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. But in our description, you'll find a link to our Discord where you could talk about the deck with other like-minded individuals of varying skill types. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an expert. There's people there looking to talk combo. Join our Discord.